To have a firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something, that is trust. We trust people in our daily lives, fellow drivers to follow the traffic regulations, our employer to pay our wages, checkout staff to accurately give us our bills, and many other people in various positions. People also trust us to fulfill our duties. However, people, including ourselves, can break that trust. We may not intend to break that trust, but as humans, we are prone to failure. But God is someone we can trust, and He will never fail us. This is Inspirational Moments. In Genesis, the story of Abraham is recounted. From his time battling famine in Egypt to settling in Canaan and the riches he accrued. Abraham had trusted God and given him guidance to live a successful life. This relationship led to a covenant being made between Abraham and God. Genesis 17, 1-4 says, "When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am Almighty God. Walk before me and be blameless. And I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly." Then Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, "As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations." An exciting prospect, riches, and a vast number of descendants. God was certainly giving Abraham untold gains. However, there was one issue. Abraham had no natural heirs, and he and his wife were of advanced age. How would this covenant be fulfilled? Genesis 17, 16 and 17 says, "And I will bless her, and also give you a son by her. Then I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of peoples shall be from her." Then Abram fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, "Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child?" Despite Abraham's doubt, God reiterated his promise. Genesis 17:19 states God's intentions. Then God said, "No, Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, with his descendants after him." Abraham could not understand how God could fulfill this promise, so he sought to fulfill the promise his own way, fathering a child with his wife's servant, causing issues within his household. God, however, would deliver on his covenant and promise. Genesis 21, 5-7 says, "Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. And Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me." She also said, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age." Abraham's ability to trust God would be called upon again, and this time he would completely trust in God despite what the consequences may have been. In Genesis 22, 1 and 2, a strange request is given to Abraham. "Now it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, Here I am. Then he said, Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. Abraham obliged this request despite the trials and tribulation it took him and his wife to bear their son and heir. Genesis 22, 9-12 says, Then they came to the place of which God had told him. And Abraham built an altar there and placed the wood in order. And he bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. So he said, Here I am. And he said, Do not lay your hand on the lad, or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Abraham had doubted God before and had no intentions of doing so again, even if it meant the death of his son. It may be difficult for us to have the same level of trust that Abraham eventually had in God, but just as God did for Abraham, God is willing to do for us. Proverbs 3:5 says, Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Trust in God. He will not disappoint us.
If you are not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button for more inspirational moments and ring the notification bell to get videos as soon as they are posted. And if you have been inspired by this video, click the like button and don't forget to share it with others. Join us next week for more inspirational moments.